Hi everyone, Tom Vogel, Wrestling's Finest PC Pro Wrestling game. It's going to be my third attempt at doing this video, so hopefully 3 times the charm. For this video, we are going to, or I should say I, am going to walk through an example of a feature that we had included as a standalone. It's called a card rating system. And it's based on the star system that was added with our version 3 that was released in August of 2020. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a sample card I personally ran to try to make this as easy as possible. If you are not into the star rating system, then I wouldn't waste my time listening to this one, because this will deal exclusively of how you can get an overall card rating based on several factors, including the star system that is now in the game. Now, you might say, why isn't this in the game? First of all, I would imagine that it's take a lot of time to program, but mainly not sure how many people would actually find this useful. And a lot of times when we make decisions what goes into the PC game, we have to take into account the time involved and also what we believe the use of something will be. If only 3 or 4 people are interested in something and it's going to take us many hours, then it might be something we pass on and we can move on to something else to put our time into. So let's get started here. So how it works is, by the way, this is on, I believe I call it various optional game charts. I am going to send it out with my next newsletter for those that have Wrestling's Finest. And if you don't have the game and would like a newsletter, I'll give you my email at the end of this, and you can always reach out to me and I can send you one. See if you enjoy the newsletters. But it's called Various Optional Game Charts. Not sure what the date is. I think I fixed up a couple typos. So the one I'm working off is June, but I'm not sure who all has that one. But you will have it. So everything runs in spreadsheet, and here's how it, for the, how I have everything set up. So what you're going to do is, first thing you're going to do, number 1, you're going to enter the match number in column A, and I call it working backwards. And by backwards, I mean, what I do is I start here. I go with match 1. I had a 6-match card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are I had 6 matches. So that takes care of step 1. Step 2, using the table below, enter the combined ratings of both wrestlers or teams in column B for the corresponding match number. So here's kind of the scale. So you'll look at each wrestler's rating. And so, for example, if you have one wrestler that, say, is a 145, he would get 4. And if his opponent, say, was 110, he would get 2. So your combined total is 6. So for my matches, in my main event, I had 2 4s, I remember. And so what I'm just doing here is entering the combined ratings for each wrestler or tag team. So, for example, in my 3rd match of the card, I know I had one wrestler that was a 4 and another was a 3. My opening match, I had one that was a 3 and one was a 2. So that 2nd step completed. 3rd step, starting with match number 2. Okay, we're going to ignore match 1, which is the opening bout. You're going to enter 10 points for match 2, and then you're going to enter 5 additional points for each subsequent match. So, for example, match 2 gets 10 points, match 3 would get 15, match 4, 20, and all the way up to match 12, which would receive 60 points. So we're going to put this in column D right here. So we're going to go start 2nd match, that's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Since that's my last match, of course I don't go any higher, but if you go up to 12, that would get 60 points. So we've already zipped through 3 steps. 4th step. This is where you're going to enter your star rating that the game told you, each of your matches received. So for my main event, that was a 3.5 star. Then I had a 3, had another 3, had a 2, 2.5, and then my opener was a 1.5. So you'll see now a lot of stuff was already calculated for you. The total of the matches is 21. You'll see how this comes into play. The one thing which you have to, that I forgot to take out was the number of matches. And by that I mean I didn't put in, so like since I had 6 matches, you're going to enter 6, 6, and here you don't need to enter anything. And then here you're going to put 6, and we'll show you how you come up with this here in just a second. So we're going to go back up here, show you where we're at now. And we have, here we go. All the computations automatically made once columns A, B, C, D are filled in. Column F will give you the overall card rating based on the match position, stars awarded for the match, and the combined ratings of the wrestlers' teams for each match. So what I'm going to do here is, so the formulas are already computed here. So I'll give you an example. For the main event, what we're going to do is we're going to take A36, or the reason I say that's line 36, you're going to take 6 plus 8, which is 14, and then what you're going to do, you're going to multiply it by the stars. You're going to multiply it by 3.5. So if you take 14 times 3.5, it comes out to the 49 you see here. And you'll see here the next match, we had a 5 plus 7 is 12, times 3 for your star rating, that's 36. Now, the theory behind this real quick is the higher the match on the card, for example, my main event's a 6, that gets more weight than other matches. Like, for example, say in this example, you see how this is a 2.733? Well, let's say my main event was only a 1.5. It drops way down to a 2.267. But let's say my opening match, which would be hard to get a 4, but let's say it did, it brings it back to a 2.57. But see, your main event is kind of the driver behind all of this. So I just put everything back to where it was. I'll get to column E here in just a second. But so for column D, you'll notice we had 164 when you add up everything. Like here we had 4 plus 6 is 10 times 3 is 30. There's our 30. Now remember, everything here, the only thing you have to enter is this row here, these 3 numbers. That's it. And all that is the number of matches you had on your card. Since I had 6, I put 6, 6, and 6. Everything else here is computed for you. Now, 2.733, we're going to slide down here just a little bit, and we're going to find it here on my scale. A 2.733 falls right here, so this overall card is a C+. And again, it depends on, the wrestlers you've chosen. Are they 3s, 4s, 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s? Is it, and what your overall star rating was. Now, a truer one might actually be, and the reason I kind of stumble on this one is I'm working on a scale, what this 51.167 means. I'll come up with something, just haven't yet. But how this works is when you go to this column, we're going to take B36, which is right here. You're going to take this number here, 8, and you're going to multiply it by 2, so it's 16. Then what you're going to do is you are going to multiply 16 by 3.5. So when you take 8 times 2, that's 16 times 3.5. Then what we're going to add to that, that's actually 56. Then we're going to add 30 for the match position points. So that's going to give you 86 points. take another example. Let's go to this match here. You're going to take 6 times 2 is 12, times 3 is 36, plus 20, that's 56. So again, if this match only came in at a 1.5, you'll see how you only scored 54 points, because this is the driving factor. This is the driving factor because how good were your wrestlers in that match? So, again, this might be more of a truer value, because not only are you taking the adjusted ratings of both guys combined, you're then factoring in the star ratings and also where it falls on the card. It's just a little bit more complex than the system I walked you through. So let's just say, for sake of argument, your main event was a 5 star, and let's say your third from the top was a 4.5, and let's say this match here was a 3.5. See, now you're at a 3.467, when we calculate everything, and you'll see here a 3.467 falls right here, so this match now would be a B+. So, different, just a different way of looking at it. Again, does it add anything to your ratings or anything? Not really, but it does kind of give you a pretty good general idea of how your overall card was, based on your wrestlers involved, based on, the position on the match or the position on the card that match was, but also very, very important, probably the biggest driver is how many stars the match scored out to. I hope this was helpful. You can email me with any questions. My email is one word and it's all lowercase. Tommy V, that's TOMMY, initial V as in Victor, 33 at att.net. Again, Tommy V 33 at att.net. You can also check out our Wrestling's Finest forum. All you need to do is go to your search engine and type in Wrestling's Finest, type in Delphi, DELPHI forum, Wrestling's Finest, and it will take you right to our forum page where people post their wrestling worlds. We talk about the game. We talk about wrestling topics. We throw in an occasional off topic. We just completed a major group project where we took, I think it was 18 territories throughout the country. We picked so many tag teams for each territory. I think it was 10, and then we ran tournaments to crown territory champions, and then the 18 champions got together and had a round robin tournament. We had 17 rounds, 9 matches per round, and then we had the top 4 teams advance to our championship round. But you can read all about it over at, again, the Delphi Wrestling's Finest forum. I appreciate all the support for Wrestling's Finest. Please don't hesitate to shoot me an email if you have any questions about the game. I'm also on Facebook. So thank you for joining in. Hope you all have a great day. This is Tom Bogle, Wrestling's Finest PC Pro Wrestling Game. So long.